So can you join us this coming Sunday? I hope you can, 1 p.m. Eastern, right there on YouTube. On the Fun Astrology Podcast channel, we are going to be talking about the Saturn returns as Saturn is in Aries. And oh my goodness, we have some amazing charts to show you, including one that has not only Saturn in Aries, but the Sun right at 0 degrees Aries. Oh, I can't wait to talk about it. And we're going to talk about the Saturn return cycle as we go through potentially 3 Saturn returns. If you're able to join us live, you can chat with us. We'll see you Sunday the 13th, 1 p.m. Eastern on the Fun Astrology YouTube channel. Welcome to the Fun Astrology Podcast for Wednesday, July 9th. Thomas Miller and Kristin Lawhead back with you, and we are going to dive right into our next chart in the series of rising signs, placing the Great Pyramid into it. And Kristin, we've got a great one today that's so easy. Because look, when you have Cancer rising, you have 0 Aries at the top of the chart.
The very top. We're still talking about a little bit of a mix of house cusps here, but at the same time, too, it is nice to have the majority of the house be the house that it rules.
Yeah, she's got an early degree rising, so exactly as Kristin said. So 0 Aries is just at the end of the 9th house, not quite in because she's 2 degrees 18 minutes. And that would, I didn't just decimate Venus here. I put it over to the side just to put it. But really, it's right there on the edge of the 11th house is Uranus, now in Gemini. And then obviously over here in the relationship house, right at the end, is Pluto. Now, Pluto for her, Kristin, in retrograde has not yet quite crossed back to her 7th house. It's sitting right on the cusp, just a few minutes off today. It's at 57 minutes. She's at 18 minutes. But that's the structure of this Cancer chart. And the other thing that I just observe here is how busy all these aspects are. She has one of those charts that is just positioned so that everything kind of connects with something else. So we obviously could spend an hour on this, Kristin, but what are some of the key things that you see as you peer into this?
Yeah, you're so right. She covers all the decans. We've got the early degrees, the middle degrees, and the late degrees. So when it comes to aspects, your activation is quite often all the time. With the 0 degrees Aries, this is really activating both the ascendant and descendant, creating a T-square. So this time is a lot about relationships and the dynamic between you and the people that you're bringing in. I think when it comes to opportunities, you have a really strong sense of the power that comes from relationships, that comes with the exalted Mars in the 7th. There's a lot of power that you hold with the people that you connect with.
Yeah, we're going to see a theme of this because the T-square, 2 squares and an opposition, is a challenging aspect. So you're going to see a lot of pull, as you can tell from all those aspects of all the planets connected. You're going to see this as we overlay the Great Pyramid as well. Great point on that. What else do you see?
I think with the Uranus and Venus conjunction is a big part of this dynamic as well. At this point, you've already had your Venus return, and Uranus is getting closer. Now, actually in Gemini, it will make the conjunction eventually, but right now it's only sitting at 5 minutes. But this is a lot of shakeups around relationships as well, around values, and around that theme of community, since Venus rules your 11th house, and home and security, since it also rules the 4th. I'm also going through this transit having a Venus at 3 degrees Gemini, so it's definitely something that I've been watching out for too.
Ooh, you guys should get in touch with each other and keep notes.
Yeah,
See how it plays out. All right.
definitely. We have some synastry.
Yeah, for sure. And I talked about on last Friday's Fun Astrology podcast episode the characteristics of Uranus being so much broader than just surprise, shock and awe, etc. This is revolutionary. So she could, through this change, because remember, this part of the pyramid, this structure of the pyramid is all positive. So yes, we are going through changes, but we're also going through changes that ultimately lead to good. And for her, this is about her friends, her outreach into the world. If she had a podcast, it would be her podcast audience. But it's however she is reaching out to others. Could come under, let's use Uranus as the revolutionary planet. It could come under some revolutionary transformation. Or somebody with this, like you as well, Kristin, could face some very positive changes in that area. And as I said on Friday, do you love astrology? Because Uranus rules astrology. So there you go.
Definitely. I think too, with it activating that opposition to Saturn, this is the time to put some structure to those things. It's a call for balance, and the dynamic between Sagittarius and Gemini is very much a ideas swapping. It's a lot about the outside and how you connect with it.
Well, and another one that jumps out too is you've got a fire trine here between that Saturn and the zero Aries point.
Yeah, absolutely. With Neptune there as well, there can be so much cultivation in that Saturn trine. And with Neptune activating that Saturn for the next couple of years, I would say now is the time to start adding magic into your day to day routine, whether it is meditation or affirmations, maybe even just stirring intentions into your coffee or tea. But find the magic in the day to day, be able to open up to the beauty around you.
Now, somebody might say, that's looking like a yacht in there, Thomas and Kristin. Is it? No, it's not, because this is 180 degrees and the yacht needs a 150 and this is 120. So even though it kind of drew in that way to our eyes here, it's my sloppy drawing. No, that is not a trine. But, or not a yod. But what I would suggest for those of you with Cancer rising is take a look at, here you do have trine points to these fire signs. So see what's happening there. And as we mentioned in the last video, look right across the chart and see if anything's happening down there in that Libra real estate. And then you can continue to pick this apart with the sextiles and the trines and everything else. But those are some key points for those of you with Cancer rising to be sure that you're looking at. Now, there are a couple of interesting little subtleties in this chart. So we just mentioned Saturn is in a positive aspect to zero Aries. This is the Aries vortex point. This is the change and the shakeup. But notice that Saturn and Neptune are going to be moving through this person's 10th house. So those of you with Cancer rising, if you have some action going on in the 10th like this person does, she has Mercury, the Sun, and the part of fortune, all that's going to be a part of this. So this is really activating the 10th house. And I went back, Kristin, I dug up the old horary book by Mark Edmund Jones, and I wanted to get his language on this, and it is absolutely perfect. He says that the 10th house is the basic manifestation of honor, our honor in the world, general recognition by others. Ooh, wow, look at that, with Mercury and part of fortune sandwiching the sun. This is where one is an authority in a given area, and that is an authority as in speaking, Mercury, versus a ruling authority in personal astrology. So this is interpreted as the public status of a person or thing. The first house is the personal focus of a matter. The 10th is the focal or interest of the group. So the 10th designates superiority in general. And so the parent, this is from the perspective of what rules mom and dad, the parent to whom the child from the very beginning yields the most to for necessary obedience is the mother. Right? How would you like to chase your kids around and there was no obedience in there? It'd be a different dynamic, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah.
So there's your picture of kind of, I think, a little more depth of that 10th house. And then the other thing with Saturn so close to the North Node in the 6th, I think this is a perfect picture of somebody who could use this period, which is going to be 7 years, to mentor. And Kristin, I want to just add a little bit of juice to that, because This is a subtlety. If you look at a chart, you can kind of tell when that chart came from, where it came from, because Pluto here is in the later degrees of Leo. And see, my Pluto, I'm 65, my Pluto is early degrees Virgo. So this is somebody that really is at a phase of life where taking a look at these mentoring opportunities and look through astrology, through reaching out to people. Don't think I'm too old. Oh my gosh, go listen to my Subconscious Mind Mastery podcast. You are never too old. This is a wonderful time to be able to pass on, even if it's just to your family, but to share your wisdom with the world.
Absolutely. This is a formation of legacy. I think that with Cancer rising, that moon is your chart ruler, and it's exactly conjunct Chiron. This is a chart of a healer, being able to teach through the wounds that you've had. And you have that conjunction to the Sun, Mercury that are exact. You're a great speaker. And in Aries, speaking to independence, helping people gain it, I think that you would make a wonderful mentor.
Yeah, this is just a really opportunistic chart. And yet, I know we have a lot of younger listeners who might have Pluto over here in Scorpio or maybe even in Sagittarius, which puts that Pluto in a very powerful trine and a sextile over to where it is now. So you just got a lot of things that you can do with this chart for you Cancer risings. Kristin, thanks. This was an excellent picking apart a complicated chart. We could have been on this one for a long time.
Yeah, so much going on, but I'm super excited for what this formation is going to bring to this person.
All right. Thank you guys for listening and watching, and we will see you, Kristin, tomorrow.
I've got a great one for you.
Thanks for watching and listening.